Well, Michael, tough at the bottom of the table at the moment. How do you view the picture of where you are?
Yeah, it's obviously very tough. Few setbacks along the way the last month or two, but I think it's so tight now. At the minute it's just looking like a sort of 3-horse race, and ourselves, Macclesfield and Yeovil are fighting sort of at the minute for that one spot. But I think if anybody can put a run of form in, it'll certainly drag teams back in. Because you can get that little bit of momentum of getting a few results, you're very close to a lot of teams.
I suppose it looks as though the three sides you mentioned are kind of out of form a little bit at the moment as well, so they're not able to reel those other sides in.
Yeah, exactly. I think for us it's obviously all season. I think for us that's the reason why we are where we are. We've not had enough results, but last couple of months we've picked up a little bit and closed the gap now a couple of times and just let it slip at the wrong time, in a sense. And we've had that opportunity to, as I say, the Newport game to 2 points it was, and if we'd have won we were out, but it wasn't to be, and the gap got quite big again. We've closed it again after Saturday. It was a little bit of disappointment after the game, but you see it then, it's 3 points, so you gained a point and you're just thinking, right, it's obviously it's on, but it's still all to play for. There's loads to play for, so I think for us it's just win as many games as possible and make sure we're that team that's certainly not in one of the two positions down the bottom.
Are you surprised that Notts are still in it, given how well things went when you first came to the club?
Obviously when I first came in it was it's that, we had some big games and we managed to great crowds and we got the results and a lot of momentum, and unfortunately we met a strong physical team in Newport that probably it shocked us a bit with the run of form. I wouldn't say we probably got a little bit ahead of ourselves, and we got brought back down to earth in a sense with a bang in that game, and that was disappointing. And I think it kind of knocked us, because we were probably seeing that a little bit as an opportunity. We were going to get out and it set us back, and Tranmere again on the Saturday after that, probably a game we should have certainly took the point. We kind of went for the win and we got caught, so it was a little bit of disappointment in them games. But I think Carlisle in the week there getting a massive result when probably nobody expected us to go and get a result up there. A good side, and the weather, everything was against us, conditions, and we went and put a great performance in. And I think after the Cheltenham game, you probably would have took 4 points in the week, and the way it worked out was the disappointment of here on Saturday again after Morecambe. I think we were a little bit disappointed that we didn't manage to sort of create a bit more, or probably take one of the chances that I know we had a limited number of chances, but just to take one. So I don't think after the Cheltenham game it was too bad of a week, and we've certainly got ourselves right back in amongst it. 3 points from Yeovil now, so we've given ourselves a great chance, but I think it's important now we start capitalising and taking our opportunities. We can't, keep getting this close and then letting it go again. We've got to, just get a few results now and get ourselves out of this mess that we're in.
Do you think you, as a side, generally struggle against teams who are perhaps more direct, get lots of balls into your penalty area? And I wonder, would it be an Exeter this weekend? Well, actually, that might suit you.
Oh yeah, well, listen. Obviously, in the games that we lost against Cheltenham and Newport quite heavily, we struggled with that. And the frustrating thing I think about it was stuff that we worked on with long throws and that, how we were going to defend them and then getting up. But obviously people, we've got a bit more experience. Without being disrespectful to some of the lads there with duffers and two coming back in now, and to be fair to them, both of them, the two guys who played have been outstanding. And I think hopefully if that sort of situation arises again, we'll be with the likes of them type of characters in there, without, I'm not knocking anybody, but probably more that they've experienced that more in their career and they deal with it. I think they've shown that in the Morecambe game, certainly the experienced players, and it's going to help us hopefully, to get us over the line and see where we go.
If it is 2 from 3 at the bottom to go down, he's going to be incredibly nervous between now and the end of the season, isn't it?
Yeah. Listen, if that's the type of stuff that affects you, you just got to forget all the stuff that's going on. Focus on the game that you're playing, like Saturday against an Exeter who you just got to focus on that, win your games. You know, you can't be playing thinking worrying what everybody else is doing. You just got to look after what you can control. We can't control anybody else. You know, it's control what we can do, and that's going out and putting performance on. And if you get the right performances, you know, since I've been here, anytime we've played really well, we've won the games. And you know, I think Saturday's going to be another big crowd with the community there. They're giving away tickets and £10 tickets, so I think hopefully we're expecting a big crowd. And you know, from my experience in playing here, every time we've sort of had that big crowd, we've reacted to it and got good performances and got the results that we needed. So hopefully Saturday again is a big crowd, because we certainly need all the support we can get, I think, and make sure, you know, this great club stays in this league.
Top man, thanks for your time. Cheers.
Michael, it's interesting to note that the best results have come against the teams at the top of the table, but the teams lower down, you've always a mental block trying to beat those. Why do you think that is?
Oh, if I knew that, you know, but no, it's true. I've certainly looked at that myself. You know, we're playing these top sides, and we've managed to be on the front foot against them, and you know, gone and got the results. And I don't know, maybe against some of the sides that are, you see it there on Saturday, without being disrespectful to Morecambe, you know, you see what they come for. It was percentage tight for football, just the ball was coming and it was just straight out for throw-ins and things like that. Not that, listen, I'm not complaining about that, but it was a little bit more rigid, and it was harder for us to break them down, you know. But I think on the other side of it as well, we got to be a little bit braver and you know, take the game a bit more, take a bit more chances and be a bit more creative, you know, because we had some good chances on Saturday, but we should have scored in a sense, but we probably could have created and been a bit more braver to play a bit more. And frustrating, you know. Port Vale game very much the same. I think it was a bit of percentage football, and for us, I wouldn't say we just kind of went through the motions. We found it hard to get our game going, but I think with the situation we're in, you only need one moment of magic to sort of get us what we need, is 3 points, and hopefully people can sort of start standing up and producing a little bit, you know, a little bit of that when we're in games like that. Because we certainly have the players that can, you know, they've got that ability to hurt teams. We just need them to be, in a sense, just, you know, take the game by the scruff of the neck and think, you know, I'm going to try and shoot here or make something score, you know. I think we just got to, when the games aren't going particularly flowing as probably other games like your Lincolns and Mansfield have, when, you know, the crowd are up, we're up, and we're on the front foot. So certainly something we certainly need to change it now, coming into this last few games of the season.
Is there a difference in mentality between the games at the top? I mean, in terms of the opposition, because the opposition, like your Carlisle's, your Exeter's, Lincoln, Mansfield, they look to come to win, whereas the teams like Port Vale, Morecambe almost come not to lose it.
Yeah, listen, it obviously is, you know, in a sense, because I think it's proved we've had since I've been here, better results have been against these top sides, and the games are a lot more open, I suppose, and more free flowing. But I think coming into the Exeter game, you know, Exeter are a really good side, in a sense. They've been about promotion for the last number of years with playoffs, and always been one of the sides competing for the 3 automatics. So it's certainly going to be another really tough game for us, and you know, we can't be relying on what's happened in the past against top teams, because we ain't, the way the form is, we ain't good enough to do that, you know, thinking we're just going to turn a performance on. We've been working hard, and you know, every game now for us, these last 9 games or what have you that's left, is every game's a cup final for us, because every point is so important now that, you know, we make sure that we get out of that bottom 2 and keep ourselves in this division, you know. So I don't think we can be relying on thinking, oh, we're playing a top side, we usually do well against them, because we ain't good enough to be able to just turn up and put a performance on.
Do you think the pressure of the situation might be getting to one or two, or do you not sense that?
I don't know, it's hard, you know, because everybody reacts to things different, you know, and it's hard, you know. Obviously, listen, there's lads that have been here through a bit of last year, obviously last year with a bit of success, and this year now with the with the disappointment really, because let's be honest about it, you know, the lads were probably one of the favourites for this division this year. There was a big expectation, and whatever, you know, it's just not happened this year. But you know, since my time coming in, it's picked up. Listen, you'd love to be unbeaten, you know. I look at games with disappointed coming away from games that we've lost and that, and you think, no. But at the same time, I got to strip it back at times and have to come away and think, listen, you haven't joined the team that's top of the league here. You know, we joined. You know, it's gonna be. We're having a tough time. It's every result we've had to work so hard for. You know, even in the games that we've played well against your Mansfields and Lincoln's, Forest Greens, the games have been so tight. As well as we've played, the games have been so tight. So we just have to work so much harder than opposition. You know, with the situation that we're in, and I think, listen, it's certainly affecting lads, and I think it's affecting them because they probably care so much. You know, it's a big. You know, for anybody to get relegated, but obviously to get relegated out of the league is it's not something that you want, you know, as a player. So it's but the most important thing for me, the way I look at it, is, you know, we ain't sitting in the summer now thinking what if and what could have been. You know, we can do something about it, and that's what people need to realise. We can do something about it now. We've got the opportunity to, you know, keep us in this league, and certainly that's what we want to do.
As one of the experienced players, what's your role been like? Have you taken players to one side, and how do you approach these games as one of the senior members of the squad?
To be honest with you, listen, I always try and, you know, speak to people and that if you feel it's something that you can work on and that'll help us in a game. But certainly for myself, it's just sort of try and lead from the front, you know, and as being an experienced player, you know, just hopefully win your battles in a sense. That's the way I always look at it, and try and, you know, lead from the front type of thing, you know. And as I say, but we need everybody doing that. I'm not saying that no one's not, but every game's a cup final for us now. We can't be leaving, you know, games and thinking, oh, you know, we need to win 5 games out of 7 or what have you. We need to just try and hit the ground running now and get as many results as quick as possible and give ourselves the best possible chance to stay up.
How would you assess your time since you come into the club? Because you walked in, it's been quite dramatic, I think.
Yeah, but as I said to you, I knew what I was walking in for. Ideally, listen, ideally you'd love to be sitting here thinking, oh, I've won every game, but realistically, was that going to happen? You know, I think we'd won 4 games, you know, up till when people like myself and some of the lads have come in, so it wasn't, as I say, it wasn't like you're walking into a team like last year at this stage of the season with Notts where you're top 2 in the league or what have you, and I'm realistic enough, you know, as much as it frustrates me and that, and you want to win every time you step onto the field, and it's so disappointing and it's hard, you know, but you just got to keep trying to, as I say, grinding out the results, and hopefully we're sitting here at the end of the season and we've stayed up, you know, because it'll be such a massive achievement. I feel so proud, you know, if I could play a part in that, of keeping the club in the division, you know. It would be massive because there's so much potential at this club, you know, with everything that it has going for it. You know, it's got a great bunch of fans and amazing stadium, and, you know, it's in a great city, and there's so much potential here, you know, that it's, you know, one little blip. Hopefully this is just a blip this year and we manage to stay up, and they can reevaluate everything and have a right go next year, and you know, get the club on the up again, you know, because certainly the people around this football club deserve it. You know, some great people that walk around this club, and the people that you meet that support you, you know, you just want to do so well for them. So it's you know, as players we got a responsibility, you know, to keep this club in the division, you know.
How big an achievement would it be for you? I mean, you've achieved a fair bit, but
listen, I just, you know, obviously I don't really look back on what's gone on in the past, you know, for me. So you live in the now, and listen, I knew what I was coming into. I was trying to keep this club in the division. It'd be a massive achievement, you know. It'd absolutely kill me to have a relegation on your CV. A club like this, you know, going out of the football league, it'd be devastating, you know. So it'd be a massive achievement. But listen, I know with the quality we've got in our dressing room, and, you know, lads just got to believe it. We've got good players, and as I say, we can certainly do it, you know. We're not 8 points anymore. We're in touching distance. We just got to win our games and, you know, get a bit of form going, and and get some results. You've seen it with Morecambe and Port Vale, you know, they've gone and won a couple of games and how far it takes them away. So we're as good as any of them teams, you know. We're obviously in a bit of a pickle, and confidence is, you know, it's a bit nervy, but forget about it, you know. You won't achieve nothing by, you know, worrying about everybody else. Just, you know, worry what we can do, and, you know, our lads perform to the way they can. We've proved it already. We've, against good sides in this division, we can beat anybody. So our lads, I think they need a bit more belief in themselves, and we'll be all right.
Can I just ask you about Coventry City? Just finally, everything that's going on there at the moment. I think the fans have been to the headquarters of CC today. What's your take? And I know Coventry, a club close to your heart, of course.
Yeah, it's obviously, listen, you just hope everything works out, you know, and it's been stuff that it's gone on in the past, and it's just disappointing, you know. You just hope that everybody can just, you know, come together and keep the club in the city. That's the most important thing, I think. Is it's been a lot of hard work over the last few years when, you know, they went down to League Two, and that was gone into trying to get fans and that back, and it seemed to be with a promotion as well. It was really just, everything was sort of coming together, and it's just disappointing, you know, because the lads are doing brilliant on the field at the minute, and just to have this type of stuff hanging over the club, it's just a little bit it's disappointing, you know, because it takes away from all the sort of good work that's been done on the pitch, and you just hope that, you know, that they get trashed out and the club are still playing there, which is ideal, what everybody wants.
Top man, thank you very much, mate.
Pretty historic weekend as well in terms of the 125th anniversary. I wondered, sort of being conscious of all those achievements and the history of this club, is that something to inspire, or is it something that kind of adds pressure? Well,
it's listen, of course, things like that can only inspire you when you walk in around this club here and you see all the you know, the boards up of legends that have played here, and you know, as I say, this club's a fantastic club, and it's had a lot of success over years gone past, and like every club, it's having a bad time at the minute, but certainly stuff like that, it should only inspire us. And again, with, you know, expecting a decent crowd at the weekend with the community day and half price tickets and that, it's going to draw another big day. Just, you know, as players, you want to put on a performance and get results that you can keep these people coming back and supporting us, you know, because at the minute we need all the support we can get, I think, as players, and you know, having that sort of 12-man mentality will hopefully get us over the line, and hopefully keep us up. And as you say, it's the 125th anniversary as well. It's certainly, you know, we don't want to be at the end of the season, we want to be celebrating it, you know, not the disappointment and people remembering that 125th anniversary for, you know, the club, you know, going down through another division, you know. So it's certainly something as players that we got to embrace, I think, yeah.
And is it hard for players having the uncertainty surrounding ownership as well, you know, on top of relegation potential? Is it hard getting focused on the pitch, or is everyone just...
Yeah, listen, it's not ideal, but it is what it is. There's nothing we can do. I think the only thing we can do as players is try to put a bit of pride back into the club, in a sense of, you know, performances on the pitch and results. And I think for us, that's all we can affect, really, is trying as hard as we can, make sure we're together, and come Saturday that we go out and put, you know, performances in that people are proud of, and by doing that is winning games, you know. And I think that's all that matters for us at the minute, and hopefully all the stuff that's, you know, going on will sort itself out. As I say, you know, so many football clubs that you know, it happens at so many clubs through especially lower down through the divisions, but you know, this club is what a club, in a sense, for anybody potentially looking to, if it is going to change, it's got everything going for it. It's a big club and a, you know, one of the lower divisions. It's got all the potential, great stadium. So I think for us as players, it's important that we just concentrate on the pitch, and everything off it will sort itself out, hopefully.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I've got a quick question. So how do you think you're going to get that momentum back, if you think you're going to get the momentum back to stay out with relegation?
Yeah, I just think for us it's the performances, you know. As I say, the one thing for us is when we're playing well, we kind of tend to win games. And obviously the situation we're in, if teams that are up the top of the table and they play sort of not great, they still manage to grind out results, whereas I think for teams that are down the bottom, when you're not playing as well, you kind of tend to, it's that, oh, things aren't going for us, and you know, you concede or what have you, and I just think it's just the nitty gritty of sometimes you're not always going to play great, but we just got to dig out and learn that little bit more experience to think, right, it's not going for us today, but we're just going to dig out a result, and probably in games where we've lost, we've probably not done that as much. So it's little things like that, I think, you know, that when things aren't going our way, just thinking, you know, realising that and thinking, right, what have we got to do to grind out a result? Because you see so many teams that they don't, you know, I've played in teams that have won leagues and that, and probably over the course of a season, you probably only play 3-4 games where you play and think, bloody hell, we were brilliant today, and you get a result, you know, because there's so many games where you grind out and you soak it up and you nick a game, but you don't remember that at the end of the season. It's just 3 points and you put it to bed. So I think for us, that's the type of mentality we got to start thinking, as if, right, it's not being a pretty day today, it's not going our way, it's right, soak it up, grind out and wait for a chance. And I think even in games, you know, certainly the Morecambe and Port Vale games, it was, you know, we wanted to go and play, we wanted to be great and win a, you know, 2-0 or whatever, you know, but it wasn't sort of going in that type of way, and we went through the motions, and that's the disappointing thing, I think, you know. It's that you know, it's just thinking, right, just get a chance here and score, and that's all that matters. And I think we got to be a bit more like that as players. I think we just got to think, right, just worry about getting a result and performances will come.
And what's it been like for you to come into a club that is struggling at the moment? How have you found that?
Listen, it's obviously, it's tough, innit? But you know, you come in and try to have the right effect around the club, and I think, listen, the manager and that, they're so upbeat, the staff, they're you know, so set in what way they want to go about things and what they want to do, and at times we've managed to execute, and when we've executed what they wanted, we've looked great. But as I say, it has been tough, and there's been tough days, you know, as I say, Newport and Cheltenham and games like that, Tranmere, when we've lost, it's been tough, you know, because you feel, you know, the games that you've let slip, and obviously with the situation we're in, we can't afford to let games get away from us like that. So it's been disappointing, but you know, it's all for, you just hope come the 3rd of May when the season finishes, you know, you're not worrying about, you're not looking back on games that have got away from you, you're just thinking, right, we're safe and we've managed to stay in the league. So come 3rd of May, hopefully we're all happy and we've stayed in the division, you know.